The thing with these secular rehabs, though, is that they give you cigarettes, first of all. Yeah.
Or to like, just not to cut you off completely, or what?
Yeah, so their stance is sort of like, it's not as bad as what you are doing, which is nonsense because cigarettes give you cancer.
Yeah,
Like,
but still
bro.
I hear just cigarettes still have addiction as well. Because you want that nicotine and you just also...
It's super, super addictive. It is just super. In fact, cigarettes are one, like, in the top 3 of the most addictive drugs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So whenever I would go to rehab, I was still smoking cigarettes the whole time. And what that does is every time you leave rehab, you are still needing a certain substance that alters your brain chemicals in order for you to feel normal. You're still dependent on something.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not
And
your
then
clean.
also, in those rehabs, what I came to realize is you deal a lot with just the addiction itself. Whereas where I'm at, we've come to the realization that it's really, there's so many deep-rooted issues that occur, that cause there to even be an inclination to go into addiction in the first place. So addiction is just a way to numb or to dull, a pain, a hurt, a wound that is internal. And so I came to realize that unless I deal with the root problem, addiction is not the problem. Addiction is just the symptom of the problem. It's a manifestation of something bigger that's going on. And whenever I would go to rehab prior, I would just, I learn the 12 steps. I learn, addiction is a disease. Addiction does this. Addiction. Like, I could tell you everything about addiction, but I was never healed. Like, I would just go back out broken and just the same girl, just that I had stayed sober for 3 months. And that's why I felt like I found myself in the same cycles all over again. Because even the issues that led me to that lifestyle had never been dealt with.
They're still there.
Yeah, and so I come
And they can trigger you anytime.
Exactly. Like, if a situation happens that is similar to something you've experienced before that had negative impact on you, then obviously your first reaction is to go back to what you know best.
Yeah.
And that is the drug, whichever drug it may be.
Yeah.
By the time I was going into Teen Challenge, which is the 1-year faith-based program I was telling you about, I was completely done. The way I'd been justifying before at Jesus turned, I'm like, child, I want these drugs. I want nothing.
Really bad?
It was really bad. I told you I was 45 kgs. But on top, or more than my physical health being so bad, internally I was just a hot mess. I had such low self-esteem, low self-worth. I lived in fear, in anxiety. I had depression and had been on and off antidepressants for a while. Man. I was completely broken, and I reached such a rock bottom that I was like, you know what, if I don't take steps to change. And do it in a way that I had never done before, then I would die. It was truly a life or death situation. And whenever my mom would see me, she would shed tears, because she would always, she would always feel like this is the end. This is,
because she's seen that gradual
deterioration.
Every single day.
At first I could handle it. At first it looked all fun and games and just going to the club and having a quarter. And then it got to a point where I could have never imagined. People think that you even have the slightest picture of what's to come. I could have never imagined that I would be at a point where I'm in a life or death situation, and yet I'm still stealing to be able to get the very thing that's killing me. It's such a horrible place to be, and I would not wish it on my worst enemy. And so 29th November 2018, I checked myself into Teen Challenge Kenya.
Wait, so you went on your own?
Oh, yeah.
So most people say like it really at times it's not even like about people forcing you or drag.
Yes.
Why you at any point like picked up and forced to go into rehab?
In my first rehab,
Yeah.
it was not voluntary.
That
But
they had to just drag you there.
Yeah, they were. In fact, they packed my suitcase. I didn't know Jack, so it was.
And you come back, you're like, have a seat.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
this
And
is what's
me, I used to be a marijuana advocate, so I used to tell you all the health benefits.
Oh,
so
shit.
even by the
you
time
have
I
your
was going,
quotes and nini.
yes, I'm like, these are the statistics that prove that blah blah. And actually, let me address that. Marijuana. There's an ingredient, if I can call it that, in marijuana that when isolated does have positive health benefits. But you see now the
Tell
people...
me more. Wait.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Oh, no, I'm playing. It's not... God, anybody who's listening, we don't want to misguide anyone.
Please. Yeah, so people see that, weed is being used to treat this and that, but people are not understanding that there's an isolated
part of it that's going for that
yes,
medical...
and it's not even smoked because that already has consequences on your lungs. You can't smoke health. You can't smoke medicine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going into Teen Challenge, it was very voluntary.
What's Teen Challenge? Is it an institution or?
Yes, it is.
That's the name of the program.
Yes, Teen Challenge Kenya. So they have a women's center, a women's center and a men's center. Mm-hmm. And actually, my mom is the executive director. Yes.
From way back, or?
Like maybe 2 years prior to my going to Teen Challenge. And she had always been telling me, come to Teen Challenge, blah, blah, blah. But I always was like, first of all, lady, first of all, I'm not even...
parenting is hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm no hurry.
Yeah.
In no hurry.
Yeah, because already like how you can already put yourself in her shoes and you're like, oh man, I put her through this.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
Which wasn't like really necessary. But
so
go on. Mm-hmm.
So she's been telling me for a long time, but first of all, I didn't want a faith-based program because I'm like, I want to know Jesus. And second of all, I was like, it's 1 year. I'm like, people my age are having babies and getting married. And you want me to sacrifice 1 year of my life?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was that it took me getting to absolute rock bottom for me actually to be able to be like, what?
I surrender. Yeah.
Nichukua baby. Siwezi. Mm-hmm. So I willingly, I said, Mom, I want to
start with you.
Exactly. No one can will you into change. And I get this question all the time about, how can I help my loved one who doesn't see that they have a problem, but I can see it. And that's a very hard place to be, because until the person themselves comes to a place where
it's hard.
It's
hard.
Yeah, it'll just sound like a clashing cymbal to their ear. I don't even know if this is a clashing cymbal. A clashing cymbal. Yeah. It'll just sound like nonsense to them, because it'll just be like, what are you telling me? Me, I'm good. And so a lot of times I'm like, just pray they reach rock bottom and actually
That's
see.
when they decide themselves.
When someone sees that they can maintain, they're like, for who?
I'm good.
Rehab for who?
Yeah.
But I'm able to make a bit of money and I'm still maintaining. But when someone gets to rock bottom, the one that they can't even justify, they've lost everything. And for me, I'd lost everything. Relationships, I'd lost friendships, I'd just lost opportunity after opportunity.
Were you even dating someone at this? Would you be in a dating position, or?
So I told you I was in the relationship for quite long, about
the one
5
that was
years.
Like just
from the
horrible.
time I was 17.
Yeah.
17 to 22, 23.
Yeah.
And so but he also was using, not heroin, but he was using alcohol and marijuana. So even when I did get sober, that's one thing I was not willing even to let go of. And for anybody who would be trying to make a change and try and implement new strategies and just a new way of life,
Yes.
like, you have to be done with the old. Like, there's no way you can be like, I'm gonna change, but I still wanna keep this toxic relationship. I wanna change, but my friends, man, my homies, my day ones,
You have
straight
to.
out the womb, my day ones. I can't let go. You have to be so how do I so itchy,
Yeah.
itchy for change,
Yeah.
so itchy for a new life,
Uh-huh.
that you're willing to let go of everything. And me, I came to that point. I'm like, if I knew you in my past life, ka tulikuwa K1, ka tulikuwa alchemist, anywhere, I do not want to hear it. Change my number.
Those two names.
Huh?
Those two names.
Which ones?
Alchemist and K1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear they're Hey, listen, I hear people do interact there. I hear there's interaction and businesses for such activities a lot.
For real.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just. Why did you mention them? Why did you mention?
That's a random. I don't know. That's the
Yeah.
first buzz that I.
I wonder why. Wait. I wonder why. Yeah.